Srimad Bhagavatam 11.8.33 Yad asthibhir nirmita-vamsa-vamsya sthunam tvaca roma-nakhaih pinaddham ksaran-nava-dvaram agaram etad vin-mutra-purnam upaiti kanya Yad asthibhir. So this is Pingla speaking, giving reflections about the illusoriness of sensual pursuits. And she is speaking here. Yad asthibhir. She is referring to her own body. In the previous verse, she has said that actually I mastered sanketya, the art of dressing and moving and behaving and decorating in a way by which I could provoke others. So I devoted myself to beautifying my body by which I could get pleasure from others. But he is saying that, so in the previous verse she has said that, the previous two verses in fact, she has said that those lovers were incompetent. The lovers were useless. They were pitiable, pathetic. Anushochat, she is mentioned in the previous verse. And in the verse before that she has meant tucham, insignificant. So it is not only are the people whom I was serving, through whom I was hoping to get pleasure, not only are they insignificant, but even the very body through which I was going to attract them and through which I was hoping to get pleasure, that body is also useless. So she's now giving a sobering analysis of the nature of the body. Yad asthibhir. So asthibhir refers to asti is bones. So the body is made of bones. Nirmita-vamsa-vamsya. Nirmit means constructed, made. So the body is like a house which is made of bones. Vamsa-vamsya, and there are bones on there is the backside where there is the spine. There is the backbone, there are the bones over there. And then there is the front side, there are the ribs. Just like there are horizontal beams and vertical beams in a house. So like that there are bones which are like the beams in a house. And sthunam refers to the bones of the hands and the legs. So basically thinking of the body as a house which is made of bones, and thinking of the bodily parts as just beams within that house, it suddenly brings a joltingly detached perspective. Now, what is there to be so attracted? Okay, this house has got this kind of beam, this house has got this kind of beam. What is there to be attracted in that? And then, what is there to be attracted? People get attracted because there is a structure of bones which is covered over attractively. So, tvaca, roma-nakhaih, pinaddham. So, where is tvaca? There is the skin above that. And roma-nakhaih. And then there are hair, and then there are nails, pinaddham, it's covered. Now if you see, the skin, the hair, the nails, these are there on everybody, and females in general, or people in general, females specifically, but people in general, they try to decorate. So women, they may use creams or something to make their skin look more shiny, more attractive in whatever way is the current cultural fad, whatever is considered the standard of beauty. And then they decorate their hair in various ways. And then there is nail polish, or there are designs or other kinds of things by which the nails are decorated. So basically, the internal content, if we see, it is not at all attractive. But because the covering is there, the covering is decorated, so it looks attractive. But then, even in that covering, which no matter how attractive it may look, there also the unattractiveness periodically pops up as an undeniable, uncomfortable but undeniable reality. And what is that? Ksaran-nava-dvaram agaram etad. So it says the house has doors, so this also has doors. And from all these doors, what happens? Ksaran-nava-dvaram agaram etad. So out of this agaram house, ksharan means to come out, to ooze out, practically speaking. So so now what comes out of all this body? Actually, there are all sorts of terrible substances which come out. Now through the body skin itself, sweat comes out, and sweaty person is never attractive. If somebody is sweaty, we say, "Can you just go and take a bath or something?" We don't want a sweaty person to come very close to us. So sweat keeps oozing out of the body, and sweat is the least of the foul substances that come out. There is vin-mutra-purnam. So now she is saying that actually inside, what is there in the body? Now something cannot come out of the body unless it is there inside. So what is there inside? She says vin-mutra-purnam. Vin-mutra. There is stool and there is urine. Purnam. And like that, the substances inside the body are not at all attractive. That's why sometimes if cross-section of the body is done, sometimes in some movies, or not some in some movies, some medical textbooks, the cross-section of the body is given, and the same person who looks very attractive at the surface level, when the face may look very attractive, but then if we just remove the of skin, and then below that we see the flesh and the blood and the arteries and everything, now there's nothing attractive about it. So now literally speaking, the body may not be filled with the stool and urine. There are other substances, but the point is that none of those internal substances in the body are attractive. Now we may say that I love a person, but then if that person's body is open and the heart comes out, and the heart nobody will want to take that heart and embrace that heart. So, what to speak, we ourselves may feel a little apprehensive to see our heart. If of course we will not be conscious if our heart is, if the surgery is being done and our heart comes out. But my point is that what the body contains internally is not attractive at all. And so now, just to jolt us out of the illusion that the body is source of beauty or pleasure, he's saying, what is there inside the body? Vin-mutra-purnam. And the great illusion of material existence is that the very holes that give out these things, often they are themselves considered sources of great beauty. And people dream about seeing those holes, touching those holes, and doing all sort of things with them. So what is this vin-mutra-purnam? This body, I thought that by decorating this body, I will get pleasure. But upaiti kanya, who apart from me could have been so foolish that by decorating a body like this, one would get pleasure. Now, of course, in this world, all of us are foolish like that. We all think that we can attract others, and we want to get pleasure through the body, and we do imagine that we will get pleasure through it. But she is saying that she's basically just emphasizing her foolishness, upaiti kanya, and she may be thinking of other people other women who are living more chaste, who are living chaste lives, and they are not so flagrantly exhibiting her body. They did not do sanketya vritti, and they did not try to seek pleasure through the body. In one sense, it's a natural human instinct to look good. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not that when we say the body is abominable, so we have to look abominable. We have to be clean and we have to be tidy. So the natural human instinct to want to look good is not to be denied. But to think that looking good is the source of pleasure and to make one's life devoted to looking good and seeking pleasure thereby is wrong. Now, all human beings, even chaste women, it's not that they have to look ugly. They will also dress themselves, decorate themselves. But she's saying that, oh alas, I have made a profession out of this, and imagine this will give me pleasure. Who could have devoted oneself totally to the body and the pursuit of pleasure through the body like I did? So religious people, they have the dharma artha kama moksha. So kama, when it is within the framework of dharma, then it is accepted, it is legitimized, although it is still distracting, but then gradually it is integrated into the overall progression of life, and one grows beyond that, transcends that eventually. But she is saying that I devoted myself just to kama, And who could have been more foolish? So foolish like this. So sometimes when we get too infatuated with the body, we can contemplate about the true nature of the body. Our own body and even others' body. Now others' body is that we don't want to hate anyone, but just recognizing the nature of the body helps in, it becomes like gives you like a cerebral jolt, a shock treatment. What is this I am fantasizing? That will give me so much pleasure. Now there's nothing over here. Let me not get carried away by this. Now at the same time, as devotees, now we shouldn't hate the body. If you start thinking, oh, this body I am carrying around is filled with stool and urine, if you start hating the body, then that can lead to a whole sort of negative complexes. The body, if we think it is a source of pleasure, then that is an illusion. But the body itself is also the source of dharma. Sharira dharma sadhanam. We want to keep the body healthy so that we can pursue dharma. And in fact, in the Buddha's in the stories about Buddha, there is a incident, quite a jarring incident, where Buddha told his disciples to meditate on the abominable nature of the body. And he told them how to go about meditating on the body. And then afterwards, when he came back, he found that this ashram, the number of people had greatly decreased. And he asked, what happened? And so people who were there, practically they were the survivors, they were very sober, and they said that actually when these people started meditating on the body's foulness, they became so disgusted that they committed suicide. Then Buddha immediately said, stop all this meditation. Then he told them to meditate on the prana. So for us, we shouldn't meditate on the negative. Our focus should be meditating on the positive, meditating on Krishna, His beauty, His pastimes, His name, His service. And while doing that, we can also meditate on, when we get distracted from this meditation by thoughts about the sense objects, then by beautiful forms, then we can, at that, to disabuse ourselves of that illusion that this is beautiful, we can meditate on the nature of the body, on what the body is beyond the covering, and thereby create a sense of detachment, and again return to the meditation on Krishna. So our meditation should not be on the negativity of the body, but should be on the supreme positivity of Krishna. And we will see that as Pingala's thoughts also move forward, she will focus on Krishna, on the Lord. Thank you.